Hello, this is Ben Walton, and I'm here going to talk about Blender on Audacity, open source software for educators, for my ED-FI 560 final project. The two pieces of software that I picked are, like I said, are the newest versions of Blender and Audacity. Blender is 2.614, and Audacity is 2.0.2. Blender is a 3D animation software, or modeling software, and Audacity is for audio recording. Blender, it's like I said, it's free, and you can download it from the Blender website, blender.org. It allows you to go on there and download the site and stuff. I'm just going to give you a little bit more history about what Blender really is. It's modeling software. So if you see Pixel or Pixar cartoons and stuff like that, that's the 3D type modeling we're talking about, or product development modeling, that sort of thing. But the website that it's housed at is blender.org. Okay, so how is Blender used in the classroom? Well, I think it's very for specialized classes like 3D design classes, engineering classes, product design classes, architecture classes, animation / film classes, and various art classes. And there's, other ways you could use it as well, but those are the ones I think are the most. The thing with Blender is that it's a very difficult software to use. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to it, and I'll show you that here in a little bit when we get to interface. So the class itself would have to be focused on software that uses 3D animation. Lots of times, other software that a lot of people use is like Maya or Cinema 4D and things like that, which are $1,000, $1,500 programs. Blender's free, and so that's why it makes it really good for educators if they have to fill a lab with really good, high quality, professional quality software that a lot of people can use. But it's very specialized software, and so the teacher there's this very steep learning curve to it, so the course would probably be focused on just using this software alone. That's why I think it's great for educators, but it's very specialized. To get Blender, like I said, you go to the Blender website, blender.org, and at the top there's a download button. Click on that and you'll get this page. Blender is, like I said, open source, so it's free, but it's also cross-platform. It works with Windows, Macs, Linux, all that kind of stuff. And so you would go to this page, scroll down until you find whatever operating system you're using and download the file. The files are only like 30 megs, so it doesn't take up hardly any space at all. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of the Blender interface. So when you open up Blender, this is what it looks like when you first start it up. You just have, I'll go and do a camera view here, and so that's what that camera was looking at, and there's just a lot of different things you can do. It's modeling. It's very as you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on here. I'm not going to go into like a tutorial talking about what all this stuff is, but I'll give you some hints about where to find good tutorials here in a second, though. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a project that I worked on a little bit. I was working on making a 3D campus project I've worked on for a few years, and I was very particular about it. And this shows you the intensity that you can get into this program with, because I was getting all the blueprints for all the buildings and making all the buildings exactly to scale, all that sort of thing. So I'll do a quick render here so you can see. And this is just a low quality render. If I was going to do a high quality one, it would take a lot of time and stuff like that. So here's Frost Brewer, just a little quick rendering I did of it. But everything's to scale. Like I said, Blender allows you to be as particular with it as you want to be. I'll show you something else here just to give you an idea. Fly around my camera, and let's see. We'll go in here into the bell tower that I was starting to work on a little bit. Zoom in a little bit here, and I'll render that out so you can see. And like I said, these aren't textured. Kind of a bad angle, kind of blocking the bell there. But like I said, these aren't textured or anything yet. But when it was all said and done, I was just in the process of making the models. I'd have all the brick texture in there, all the cement texture, the brass texture for the bell, and things like that. So that's the Blender interface. Like I said, I don't want to go into a lot of detail about how to use this because this is very in-depth software, but all 3D modeling software is extremely in-depth, so it's still a great option for classroom because no matter what 3D software you use, the instructor would still have to get past that learning curve. So it's a great option because, like I said, it's free. Okay, so now we're there. What's next? Oh, a great tutorial to use if you really want to start getting into Blender. It's free. It's through Wikibooks. Is Blender 3D Noob to Pro. The link's there at the bottom. And all my links are going to be in my on a Delicious page that I have set up for all these websites. But it's a very in-depth thing. It takes you all the way through the process of just getting through installing the software to all the way to high-end renders and to animations and how you do your skeletons for animations. And this also has game engines in it, so you can create games with your models you make and things like that. But this is a great tutorial to use for that. Here's just a couple examples of what other people have done in Blender. I just wanted to show you this for to give you an idea of the capabilities of Blender. This is an image an engineering student was using to make the rear end out of a Mercedes-Benz. And so you can get really in-depth, and I've looked at some of this guy's other pictures with this, and all those nuts and bolts and stuff went through here all come off. He can unscrew them and take that out, and you can see all the gears and bearings and whatever else is in there. So it's the complete actual piece in a 3D model that would then get sent to the manufacturer so they have a better idea before they produce the project. So Blender is a great project for engineering students and design students, especially product design, not just film students who want to do cartoons and stuff like that, which is also a great way to use it. Here's a render that a guy did of a pen, a fountain pen, and I just put this one in there because you can really see the quality that you can get from Blender with all these reflections and the lighting. Everything in this is fake. He created it from the lighting and everything, and so I just wanted to show that it really can live up to what the expensive programs can do. And finally, one of the hardest things to do, and these are stills, but they're actually movies. I didn't want to put the movies in there, but one of the hardest things to do in 3D animation is fluids, like water and stuff like that. So this shows you the capabilities of Blender, again, to do really professional renders and models with free software. And so this just shows some fluid, some water going into that glass with ice melting and stuff, which is an extremely difficult thing to do in 3D animation. My next product is Audacity that I'm going to talk about. Audacity, as opposed to Blender, is extremely simple to use. Audacity is just audio recording software, and go to audacity.soundforge.net, and that's how you can get the software for this. How's Audacity used in the classroom? Here's just a couple examples I came up with, and there's endless others. It's because it's sound, so you can use it in music, you can use it in a lot of different areas. But the students could record a weekly podcast, or the teacher could record a podcast if they want to give information, like a weekly podcast, if they want to give information to the students about whatever the homework assignments are or whatever. The students could do the voiceover for a video project. Or they could do tutorial development, like this tutorial right here with a PowerPoint. You could record your audio in Audacity. And like I said, there's numerous other uses. This is like the end product to really make that product come alive with voice or sound. To download Audacity, you go to that audacity.soundforge.net/download, or you can just click the download tab at the top. And this is also cross-platform, which makes it really nice. You can do Windows, Mac, or Linux. This is also a nice feature, just like Blender, that it's cross-platform. And I'm going to show you the Audacity interface now. So when you open it up, this is how it starts. And I'm going to try to actually record when I'm speaking right now during my presentation. I haven't tried this yet, so let's see if it works. I'm going to choose my input. I'll just choose that one. And I'm going to hit record, and you can see my levels bouncing, and they're going to go, and it's not recording right now, but that's just because I'm doing this Camtasia recording on top of it. But anyways, that's all it is. If there was a waveform here, you could just highlight the section you wanted. Let's say you messed up, highlight the section you wanted, and you can just delete that out and cut it together. Then you can just go up, which you can't see the file menus in this, but go up in File and export just a WAV file to take into whatever program you wanted. Like you could take the WAV into a PowerPoint, you could take the WAV into your editing software if you're doing it for video, or just export it to iTunes if you're doing a podcast, or to your blog if you're doing like a weekly podcast that way. So very simple software. There's a few other options in here and stuff, but they're all very, very simple. So that's Audacity. So like I said, here's that link to my Delicious account that has all the links to the web pages that I talked about on this presentation. And at the bottom is my sources from the Flickr images I used. That's it. Thank you.